Hi guys, Morgan here, recording another drafting video for GatheringMagic.com. We are getting into a Battle for Zendikar release, 8.4, and we're gonna have some fun today, probably, right? I'll see when the draft starts. Alright, that was fast. Didn't even get time to eat lunch. Alright, well, here we have a couple of good first pick options. There's Akoum Hellkite, which whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. If the land is a mountain, it deals 2 damage to that creature or player instead. There's also a Coastal Discovery, same mana cost, same creature, but you draw 2 cards instead of getting landfall triggers. Vampiric Rites is really good in the black-green sacrifice deck. Kozilek Sentinel is a fine way to, like, have creatures in the red-blue deck. Interesting first pick. I'm not a huge fan of red in the format. I prefer Coastal Discovery. I've never played with this card. We'll try it. We'll give it a shot. Assuming we are able to, like, ramp it out somehow, like, that card seems pretty good. Here, there's a Helmartide color, which would have been great with that Coastal Discovery, and now I feel so silly. But there's also a Touch of the Void, so I think I just take that. And stay in red. Like, this card is good, but yeah, I'll take the Touch of the Void. So the cards I'm eyeing up here are Complete Disregard and Evolving Wilds. Evolving Wilds is pretty good to trigger Akoum Hellkite. Complete Disregard is a piece of removal, though. I think I want the Evolving Wilds. Or not the Evolving Wilds, the Complete Disregard. I meant to take the Complete Disregard. I think picking up a couple removal spells to go with our bomb is a fine thing to do. So we have a Deathless Behemoth, which is a 6/6 for 6, which is, you know, fine. There's also a Snapping Gnarlid, which is a great 2-drop. Another Evolving Wilds, and a Shatterskull Recruit as the potential pickups. Like, Shatterskull Recruit is just kind of incidental. Like, I'd rather have the Deathless Behemoth or the Snapping Gnarlid, or the Evolving Wilds. I think it's just the Snapping Gnarlid as a way to take early creatures. I like Void Attendant a lot. And playing with, like, Touch of the Void helps. There's also another Snapping Gnarlid. There's also a Spawning Bed, which is fine. I think we're going to take the Void Attendant as it's the most powerful card that was available in that pack, I think. Here, I'm going to take this other Touch of the Void. That was pretty late. There's also a Gideon's Reproach in this pack. That's fairly late, but yeah, happy to take another Touch of the Void. Here I'm going to take the Tunneling Geopede over the Territorial Baloth. It's a nice, aggressively costed creature, and I like to stay in red, if possible. Could play Scythe Leopard. There's also a Swell of Growth. Earthen Arm seems funny. We're making good decisions. I actually think I want the Kozilek Sentinel. I'm not necessarily, like, the perfect deck for it, but it is a reasonable thing to pick up here. So I could pick up the Forerunner of Slaughter. I do have a Complete Disregard and move into red-black. I could take the Territorial Baloth. I think the power level potential is higher in the Kozilek Sentinel, the Forerunner of Slaughter deck. And we'll put that over here. So, like, I may not necessarily be green, is what I'm saying. Alright, Magic the Gathering, quality product that it is. froze. So we'll see what kind of deck I ended up with. Hopefully I didn't miss too many picks. Alright, this isn't frustrating at all. Alright, so picked up a Merc Strider in favor of a Painful Truths, which I'm not going to consider a bad thing. Like, it's not great, but it's fine. I think I want another Complete Disregard over Rune Processor and Gruesome Slaughter, which is not necessarily something that I'm really interested in. I think we do switch to... Oh, I got 2 lands? Wow, Moto knows me so well. Like, card is sweet. I'm not sure how good it is. Especially since we don't really have that many colorless creatures right now. So yeah, taking the removal spell. Ooh, this is exactly what we wanted. There's also a Vestige of Emrakul here, which tends to wheel more frequently than Nettle Drone does. Nettle Drone is a key card in the colorless spells deck. Swarm Search is pretty good too, but we don't have that many creatures yet. So definitely just happy taking the Nettle Drone. I've never played with Molten Nursery. Not really interested in doing that. Like, it seems fine, but I'm definitely just taking a Stonefury here as another removal spell. We have a bunch of little creatures, so we want ways to get them into the red zone. Double Prismarray pack. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I did, and kind of jealous. So I probably want either the Whiptail or the Kozilek's Channeler over the Stonefury, and definitely over the Myers Malice. I think I want the Whiptail. It's more aggressive than the Channeler. I mean, the Channeler is probably better in that it is colorless, which is relevant. Yeah, I guess we take the Channeler just on that basis. Here I'm going to take the Grave Birthing. Heaven forbid I get any processors. Grave Birthing processes and makes the colorless things. Here I'm pretty happy taking the Vestige of Emrakul over the Molten Nursery, I think. Yeah, I have so many 3s. Pathway Arrows, you say? I'm just going to take the Valakut Invoker. This card's pretty sweet. Wield the Slide Runner, which is probably what I would have taken. Processor Assault is fine, but I'd rather have another 2-drop. Rune Processor Wield, which is pretty good for me. I have a bunch of ways to exile creatures, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, well, we wield a belligerent Whiptail, so I'm fine taking it. It's less good than the 4/2 from Dragons of Tarkir. Can't remember what it's called right now. But when it attacked, if you controlled a total of 8, it gained first strike. So this one doesn't have trample, it's a huge difference, but it's better on its own. I'm pretty happy with it. We wield the other one, which is interesting to me. Okay, Volcanic people. Considering we passed, like, all those really clutch blue Awaken cards, I'm sure we'll be citing that in at some point. Alright, well, I'm taking this Omnath, because this card is insane. I could see also playing the Titan's Presence, the Valakut Predator, or the Valakut Invoker, or Culling Drone. However, this card is insane. Double green is kind of difficult to splash, but we'll see. Grave Birthing is kind of meh, and Complete Disregard is good. Forerunner of Slaughter is only good if one of my primary colors is black. So here I'm going to take a Serpentine Spike over a third Touch of the Void, I think. I could also take this Pilgrim's Eye. That's actually something worth considering. Pilgrim's Eye has all of the colorless synergy with Nettle Drone, and that's it. And Kozilek Sentinel with none of the 7-dropness. Like, I want to play with this card. Yeah, I think I take the Pilgrim's Eye. Serpentine Spike does cost 7 mana, so we're just gonna say that. Here I'm gonna take Outnumber. It's a little bit more consistent than Processor Assault, which is kind of saying something because they both have huge dependencies on them, but I think it's what we're looking for over like Blighted Gorge. So what I'm really looking for is a way to fix our mana for Omnath. I could see playing Kozilek Sentinel, actually, a second one. There's also Call the Scions. There's also a Stonefury in this pack, worth noting. I think I want a second Sentinel over the Dominator Drone. Ooh. Alright, so this card's good. It's a 5/3 with haste, which is kind of insane for 4. So I guess we're taking this. We're passing another Dominator Drone and another Outnumber. We're probably not going to get to play Omnath, which is sad. Like, I feel very sad. But Dust Stalker's sweet. One of the things that I am kind of disappointed by, actually, is Dust Stalker you'd think would have synergy with the Devoid deck, which asks that you, first of all, I think we just want the Valakut Predator over the Lifespring Druid. Like, if I'm gonna try and play Omnath, I'd take the Lifespring Druid. But we passed all of those Evolving Wilds. Yeah, I think we just want the Predator. Sorry, buddy. Hit the bench. Hit the showers. Let's go. Yeah, so Dust Stalker. The clause is... Ooh. I think we just want another Slide Runner. At the beginning of each end step, if you control no other colorless creatures, return Dust Stalker to its owner's hand. So, the cards in this set, like Nettle Drone, for example, and Kozilek Sentinel, ask that you cast a lot of colorless spells. So, we're gonna cut these guys. Like, it was fine when we picked them up, but now our deck is a little bit more focused. Yeah, I'll pick up a Nursery. And, like, Nursery with Dust Stalker seems really cool, except you can't bounce him otherwise. So, like, I kind of wish... I mean, it'd probably be busted with Pilgrim's Eye, but I wish I had been able to do something. We're going to take that Stonefury and put it in our sideboard. We're going to take this Blighted Gorge and play the heck out of it. It's something where I kind of wish I was able to, like, have this drawback all of the time. Wield and Dominator Drone, that's pretty sweet. So this deck can get pretty aggressive. I think we still want the Pilgrim's Eye. Weird as that sounds. And we still want the Hellkite. Do we want the Channeler? Or the Processor? Like, the Processor is huge, though. Like, that's its big upside. Also, like, Rune Processor, Dominator Drone, like, those would be awesome if you return them to your hand. But Dust Stalker is one of those cards where it's kind of like, oh, it's not nearly as good as I had hoped it was. So I think... So we have 25 cards here. Is this a 23 land deck? Or 23 spell deck? I don't know. So we can probably cut one of the Outnumbers. We just have better removal in double Complete Disregard, double Touch of the Void. This stays. These two can stay. These guys can stay. This can stay. These stay. Giant dragon stays. So we have 18 things here. I think we don't want the slide runners since we have the Sentinels and the Forerunner. I'd like these guys. And then just play the processor. Call it a day. Ah, man. Wish we had opened this Omnath. That would be sweet. We have so many 3s. I mean, do we want a Molten Nursery? How many of our things are colorless? Like this guy is not. This are not, and this is not. But the rest of our stuff is? Yeah, it seems pretty good. We're gonna give it a shot. Like, Dust Stalker Molten Nursery is something that I want to do, but I won't be able to, probably. So, we're gonna add some basic lands here. Sort by color. Very little black. But we do have, like, aggressive black cards, so when we go to add basics, we're definitely going to include more than what Moto says we should. 710 seems fine. We do have Blighted Gorge, which I would be a little hesitant to include, except it's pretty good. Like, deals 2 damage to target creature or player. That's fine utility. And we'll submit. So yeah, managed to draft the colorless deck and see how it goes. Thanks for watching Drafting with Morgan. Make sure to click on the playlist link to watch the full draft, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It was a pleasure drafting with you, and I hope to see you in the next video.